What happens when the world's most disruptive billionaire becomes the target of global retaliation? Elon Musk, the richest man on Earth, is now watching his empire bleed. Over $160 billion has vanished from his net worth as Tesla, SpaceX, and his other companies face a sweeping blacklist from powerful leaders and global institutions. President Donald Trump's aggressive tariffs have not only triggered a wave of retaliatory sanctions from global powers, but have caught Musk's international operations in the crossfire. In this video, we go deep into the chain reaction set off by Trump's tariffs, the blacklist that followed, and how it's dismantling one of the most ambitious tech empires in history. The blacklisting of Musk's companies. Elon Musk's companies have faced some serious problems because of tariffs, which are basically extra taxes that countries put on products coming from other countries. Immediately Donald Trump became president, he started putting tariffs on goods from several countries, especially China. This created a chain reaction that hit Musk's businesses hard. Tesla, Musk's electric car company, relies on global trade to make and sell its vehicles. When Trump put tariffs on steel and aluminum in 2018, the cost of building Tesla cars went up. Tesla needs these materials to make car frames and parts. The company had to pay more for these materials, which meant either raising car prices or accepting smaller profits. China is super important for Tesla. It's both a place where Tesla builds cars and sells a lot of them. When the US put tariffs on Chinese goods, China hit back with their own tariffs on American products. This made Tesla cars more expensive in China compared to local brands like BYD and NIO. Chinese customers had to pay about 25% more for Tesla cars because of these tariffs, which hurt sales. The tariffs also messed up Tesla's supply chain. Many of the parts that go into Tesla vehicles come from different countries. When tariffs were placed on these parts, Tesla had to scramble to find new suppliers or pay the extra costs. This slowed down production and delivery times. SpaceX, another of Musk's companies, felt the effects too. While SpaceX mainly works with the US government, it still needs materials from around the world. The tariffs on metals and electronic components increased the cost of building rockets and satellites. The Solar City part of Tesla's business also suffered. Solar panels and their components faced tariffs of up to 30%. Since many solar parts come from China, this made Tesla's solar products more expensive for American homeowners, reducing sales. When other countries responded to Trump's tariffs, they sometimes targeted American technology companies specifically. This made it harder for Musk's businesses to expand internationally. For example, the European Union put tariffs on certain American goods, which complicated Tesla's plans in Europe. The Boring Company and Neuralink, Musk's smaller ventures, also faced higher costs for imported technology and materials. This slowed down their development and testing phases. What made things worse was the uncertainty. Businesses need to plan ahead, but with tariffs changing suddenly, Musk's companies couldn't make solid long-term plans. This uncertainty scared investors, which partly explains why Musk's personal wealth dropped so dramatically. Even after Trump left office, many of these tariffs stayed in place. Some countries still have restrictions on American goods, and the global trade relationships damaged during this period haven't fully recovered. This continuing situation keeps putting pressure on Musk's international business operations. The $160 billion loss in Musk's wealth wasn't just from tariffs, but they played a big role by increasing costs, reducing sales, and creating uncertainty for his companies in the global marketplace. Government investigations and legal challenges. As Elon Musk's companies faced growing financial troubles, government agencies started looking more closely at his business practices. These investigations didn't help his already difficult situation. The Securities and Exchange Commission, or SEC, has been watching Musk for years. It all started back in 2018 when Musk tweeted that he might take Tesla private at $420 per share. The SEC said this tweet misled investors because Musk didn't actually have the money lined up. As punishment, Musk had to step down as Tesla's chairman and pay a $20 million fine. Tesla also had to pay $20 million. But that wasn't the end of Musk's problems with the SEC. They've kept a close eye on his social media posts about Tesla. Whenever Musk tweets something that could affect Tesla's stock price, the SEC checks if he's following the rules they set up after that first investigation. The Department of Justice has also been looking into Tesla. They started investigating Tesla's self-driving car claims. Some people say Tesla exaggerated how well its autopilot and full self-driving features work. The DOJ wants to know if Tesla tricked customers or investors by promising more than the technology could actually do. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, which makes sure cars are safe, has opened multiple investigations into Tesla. They're looking at crashes that happened while autopilot was turned on. They want to know if Tesla's technology is safe enough for public roads. SpaceX, another of Musk's companies, has faced its own government scrutiny. The Federal Aviation Administration has reviewed SpaceX's rocket launches and sometimes delayed them because of safety concerns. These delays cost SpaceX money and slow down their progress. Twitter, now called X, has run into trouble with regulators since Musk bought it. The Federal Trade Commission has questioned whether Twitter is following a previous agreement about protecting user privacy. They're worried that Musk's staff cuts might have left too few people to keep user data safe. In Europe, Twitter faces even more challenges. The European Union has strict rules about online content and user privacy. Officials there have warned Musk that Twitter must follow these rules or face huge fines. These investigations have made Musk's financial problems worse in several ways. First, they've scared some investors away from his companies. People don't like investing in businesses that might be breaking rules. Second, dealing with investigations takes time and money. Musk and his teams have to prepare documents, attend meetings, and pay lawyers instead of focusing on making their products better. Third, the bad publicity from these investigations has hurt the reputation of Musk's companies. Some customers have decided not to buy Teslas or use Twitter because they're worried about the company's practices. Finally, if any of these investigations end with big fines or strict new rules, Musk's companies could lose even more money and face even tighter limits on what they can do. As these legal challenges continue, they create a cloud of uncertainty that hangs over all of Musk's business ventures, making his path to financial recovery even more difficult. Market and public reaction. When news broke about the blacklisting of Elon Musk's companies, the stock market reacted almost instantly. Tesla's shares, which had once soared to incredible heights, began dropping like a rock thrown into a pond. In just a few months, the company's stock price fell by over 40%, wiping away billions in value. Investors who had bet big on Musk's vision suddenly found themselves losing money fast. Wall Street analysts, who once praised Musk as a genius, changed their tune. Many of them downgraded Tesla's stock from buy to hold or even sell, warning their clients that the company faced serious troubles ahead. Investment firms that had previously fought to get Tesla shares now couldn't get rid of them fast enough. SpaceX, though not publicly traded, also felt the impact. Private investors who had valued the company at over $150 billion began questioning whether that price made sense anymore. Some tried to sell their stakes at lower prices just to get out before things got worse. The public's reaction was just as dramatic. On social media, #MuskMeltdown and #TeslaFalling became trending topics. People who had once viewed Musk as a real-life Tony Stark now compared him to failed business leaders. Memes and jokes about his financial losses spread widely, with many showing little sympathy for the billionaire's troubles. Tesla owners, once the company's biggest fans, started having second thoughts. Online forums that used to overflow with praise for Tesla vehicles now featured worried discussions about resale values and the company's future. Some owners even reported feeling embarrassed driving their cars, as the Tesla brand no longer carried the same cool factor it once did. Car buyers who had been on waiting lists for new Teslas began canceling their orders. Tesla's delivery centers, previously bustling with excited new customers, grew quieter. The company had to slash prices several times to attract buyers, further hurting its bottom line. Media coverage shifted dramatically too. News outlets that once highlighted Musk's every achievement now ran stories with titles like "The Fall of a Tech Titan" and "How Musk Lost His Magic Touch." Business magazines that had featured him on their covers now published detailed analyses of his mistakes and misjudgments. Public opinion polls showed a massive shift in how people viewed Musk. Before the blacklisting, about 60% of Americans had a positive opinion of him. Afterward, that number dropped to just 25%. Young people who had been among his biggest supporters turned against him most strongly. Companies that had partnered with Musk's businesses started distancing themselves. Advertisers pulled their spending from X, formerly Twitter, not wanting their brands associated with the controversy. Satellite internet providers that had worked with Starlink began promoting their own services instead. Even in pop culture, Musk's star faded. TV shows stopped making flattering references to him, and celebrities who had once Musk proudly posted photos with him, deleted them from their social media accounts. The public reaction wasn't just about money, it reflected a deeper disappointment. Many people had seen Musk as someone who would change the world for the better. As his empire crumbled, they felt let down, as if a promise had been broken. The story of Musk's financial losses became more than business news. It turned into a cautionary tale about putting too much faith in a single person's vision. Future implications and recovery prospects. Elon Musk's $160 billion loss has left many wondering what happens next for the famous business owner. This huge money problem came after leaders from different countries decided to stop working with his companies. Let's look at what might happen in the future and how Musk might try to fix things. First, we need to understand that $160 billion is an enormous amount of money, even for someone as rich as Musk. This loss has affected all his major businesses: Tesla, SpaceX, X, and Neuralink. The blacklisting means government contracts were canceled and many business partners backed away. For Tesla, the electric car company, the road ahead looks bumpy. Car sales might drop as some countries won't allow Tesla vehicles to be sold anymore. Tesla might need to find new markets where the blacklisting doesn't apply. They could also focus more on their energy products like solar panels and batteries, which might not be as affected by the blacklisting. SpaceX faces different challenges. Since they work a lot with NASA and the US military, losing those contracts is a big blow. They might need to look for more private customers who want to send satellites to space. Countries that didn't join the blacklist might become important new partners. For X, the social media platform Musk bought, user numbers might drop if people worry about being connected to Musk's troubles. They'll need to work hard to keep advertisers who are nervous about staying with the platform. How might Musk bounce back? History shows he's good at overcoming problems. Here are some possible strategies. He could apologize for whatever caused the blacklisting and promise to change. This might help if the problems were about things he said or did personally. Musk might sell parts of his companies or bring in new investors to help with money problems. This would mean giving up some control, but could save the businesses. He could focus on countries that didn't join the blacklisting. Places like India, parts of Southeast Asia, or South America might become more important markets for his companies. Legal challenges are another option. Musk could try to fight the blacklisting in courts, claiming it's unfair or illegal. The ongoing investigations into Musk's businesses will play a big part in what happens next. If investigators find serious problems, things could get worse. But if they don't find much, public opinion might start to change. Will Musk ever get back the $160 billion he lost? Probably not all of it, at least not soon, but he's shown before that he can build value in his companies over time. For regular people who own Tesla stock or use his products, this situation creates uncertainty. Customers might wonder if their Tesla cars will continue to get software updates or if parts will be available for repairs. The next year will be crucial. If Musk can stop the bleeding and start rebuilding relationships with governments and business partners, his empire might survive. But if more countries join the blacklist or the investigations uncover serious problems, the troubles could get even worse. What's clear is that no business leader, no matter how rich or famous, is too big to face consequences when governments decide to take action.